Here we go. Today we're going to talk about a core value here that we have, one of our 7 here at TLC.
Give every challenge everything you've got. You want challenges. You eat challenge for breakfast.
This is huge, man. At the very least, take accountability with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I could have did better.
It should be a natural hunger in you.
This is my jam right here, man. All right, here we go. Having fun, we get more work done. Okay, this is one of our 7 core values. And so I love this one because, man, I grew up and, I've said this before, and I know, maybe Gen X, we kind of have a similar story for most of us anyway. Man, like my dad, if my dad sent us outside to do yard work and me and my brother were like laughing, horsing around and stuff, he didn't like that. Even if the work was getting done, right? Yeah. The leaves were all getting raked up or the grass was getting cut. For some reason, he thought if we were smiling, if we were laughing, if we were joking around, that meant we weren't working. But it wasn't true. That joking around, that laughing helped us keep our mind off of the work we were actually doing, and it made it, easier to do, right? Yep. And so that's why I love this core value, because it's counterculture to how I grew up. Yeah. But I always believed in it, right? It's like, no, we don't have to be miserable to get work done, right? So having fun, we get more work done. Here we go. Beat the Sunday scaries by giving yourself something to look forward to on Monday. Start the week by scheduling a coffee break with coworkers, listening to a playlist that lifts your mood, or planning something fun after work. When you have bright spots in your Monday routine, the shift from weekend to work week feels easier. My man. Now, I think we're going to bless a lot of people with this, and maybe not initially, but maybe they will, kind of little by little understand how important this is. Yeah. This shift from Sunday to Monday that is being spotlighted and highlighted here is huge. Yeah. Emotionally, mentally, your mental health obviously really rubs off on your physical health. Yep. So I really I lived this life, by the way, when I worked in the assembly plant at Ford Motor Company. I clinged to that job because my family needed me to. Yep. But man, I did not enjoy Sundays after a while because I knew that I would not be happy on Monday, and there was nothing to look forward to. Yeah. And so, I learned a lot during that process, and one thing I learned the most was, hey, just because it's Monday and I got to go to work somewhere that I maybe don't 100% enjoy, wait a minute, I'm going to see Jack Fallon there. He's my line mate on the assembly line, and hey, when I come home every Monday night, we have family dinner because my wife was off on Mondays because she works in a salon, right? And so I'm like, wait, there's a bunch of great stuff happening on Monday. What am I doing, right? It took me a long time, guys, to really understand and realize that. But when I did, even before I detached from Ford Motor Company, when I started to remind myself of the good parts of Monday, bad parts didn't feel so bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it really, it's looking through that lens that, that's what I like to, if we were cameras, remember the old Canon cameras? Yeah. Right? All the dads had them, all the dads at Disney World or Cedar Point or wherever you go on family trips, they all had them hanging from their neck, right? Yep. And then, some of the lenses, you could interchange them. Some were small, wide. Some of them were 6 feet long, right? So and you got these lenses, right? I believe we're like a camera. We are. Human beings, we're like a camera, right? What lens are you going to see the world through? And for me, it's if you look through a lens of really negativity, you're going to see negative everywhere. Yeah. Right? If you look through a lens of, someone's trying, who's going to offend me, or wait a minute, let me see if I can find something that's going to offend me, you're going to find that. Yeah. But if you look through life through a lens that you put on, just like the old Canon cameras, right? You put on this lens of I'm going to look for everything that's beautiful today. I'm going to look for all the positives in this day, in this week, in this month, in this year, in this life. Yeah. All of a sudden you find yourself pretty easily seeing those. Yeah. Yep. But man, when you put that other lens on, that dark one, you know what I'm talking about? Yep. The one that's cloudy, foggy, dark. You're going to see darkness. You're going to see all the not so great things in life because, life is definitely not all sunshine and rainbows like Mr. Sylvester Stallone says, right? But there is a lot of sunshine and rainbows in life. I can attest to that.
Let me go back to those dad cameras real quick before you finish.
And by the way, I thought I was going to end the conversation. I kind of started it. I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm a little rude sometimes. So I'm trying to toss it over to you, and I didn't even toss it to you.
I'm tossing it right back over to you. Listen, remember those times when your dad, when you couldn't see nothing and you found out you didn't take the lens cover off?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
You saw something, but what you saw was the darkness from the lens the lens cover. Now, this ain't, your everyday Android phone where no lenses, But back in the day, you had to put that lens off.
Yeah.
And you had to take it. You had to put it on. You had to take it off. If you wanted to take pictures, you had to get that lens, come on, screw it off. And you're wondering, there used to be a few awkward moments. Hey, what's going on? Is this camera busted? No, you didn't take the lens cover off.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like those cameras too, like, I don't know if you remember this. This happened to us like 100 times as kids when we were, our friends would go somewhere, and even as a family, you would take what you thought were great pictures, right? Like, oh my God, this is great. I can't wait till these pictures get developed, right? And so you drop off the roll and you realize, like, man, someone must have screwed up here.
Sir.
Like none of the pictures came out, right? Like, like if you were exposed to too much heat or light or whatever, like it would like destroy the film.
Don't move. Please don't move.
Right. But you know what? We had the memories though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think sometimes we're looking for the perfect picture. We're looking for the perfect lens. We're looking for the perfect exposure. These phones now, they got 175 different filters. You can make anything perfect, right? Sometimes the memory is even more beautiful than the picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, so, but again, let's go back to this because I don't want to say we got off track, but I want to make sure we stay on this topic, right? So, Carl, how do we beat the Sunday scaries? Because, like Carl, Carl's a great man, and he's so involved in his church and really in religious life in general. Sunday's like your Super Bowl day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you just told me on the way into the studio today, you're like, man, like I had an awesome Sunday, man. And
touchdowns.
Yeah, and we can tell because you barely have a voice today, right? So I know you're belting out the gospel music.
Yeah.
I can just tell, right?
Yeah.
Any part of you ever feel this? I mean, I know we're here and we're in this studio and we get to work in this awesome place with this positivity all around us, but is there any emotion that you have, like kind of transitioning into like, oh man, like this was great, like tomorrow maybe might not be as great as this, and is there something there that kind of hangs around with you, maybe that you have to check yourself, on?
Yeah, you do it when on Sunday, like now this is, when I got here, I was 3-piece suit. I wasn't doing none of this. I'm not wearing a t-shirt in the corporate office, and it took me a while to accept the embrace of the culture, right? Because I was your dad. Like, you don't come to work to have fun, right? You schedule some fun for after, but you definitely don't try to fit it in here. But it took me, and this is one thing that's been coming up in my head on this entire broadcast. It took intentionality. It took me making up my mind that. You saw me do it in stages, right? I wore my vest with the T-shirt. I took off the 3-piece, took off the collar. I put the T-shirt on and put my vest over the top of it, right? You saw that happen in stages.
Yep.
But that's an intentionality that I think the scripture says it in Colossians. It says, if ye then be risen with Christ, set your affections on things above. And so I had to get out of Monday ruining my Sundays, right? There used to be a time, 6, 7 o'clock, where your mind automatically goes, oh God, I got to work tomorrow.
Yep.
But with an intentionality, you can say, I love how this projects you into Monday. Start the week by scheduling a coffee break, listening to a playlist that lifts your mood. And that's what I'm talking about. If you're ever down, that's what the scripture's saying. Set your affections up. Right? Look up, don't look down, set your affections there. Now, something I love to do on Sunday, I'm going to do on Monday. Watch this. I'm going to plan on having a perfect Monday, Sunday. And then on Monday, I'm going to plan on having a perfect. Listen, who says the weekend ends at that Sunday? Right? You did. But you can change your mind.
Yeah.
It's repentance. It's metanoia. I changed my mind on Total Life Changes when I decided it's better to have fun. I got more creative. Everything that y'all promised me would happen, it happened. I looked forward to coming. It's been a while. I used to work in a hostile work environment. And I would dread, and watch this, John. I used to come from Warren to Livonia. And can you imagine that drive on 696? Dreading to go to work. Like I dreaded the traffic. Matter of fact, I said 696 was the new S word. I didn't want to hear that phrase on the news. Shut it off. And I would go, get dumped on, get beat up, get harassed, and then have to, God, if it's rained, it would be a 2-hour drive. If it snowed, it'd be a 4-hour drive home, right? And so spending all that time miserable wears you down. So if you don't intentionally change your mind, then your mind will eventually change you. But you have the power.
Yeah, man.
Set your affections on things above. So you know what I was doing last night? I was thinking about the show.
Okay.
Like, I got to get my voice back. How am I do this show, without my voice, right? And so now, instead of dreading coming to work, instead of dreading Monday, I got tired of that dread because it really took over Sunday. You really didn't have Sunday.
Yeah.
And if you minimize your fun time like that, then you're going to be miserable. I just got tired of being miserable.
I'm so glad you went this route and you started talking about your journey here at TLC. What a great analogy and really kind of like example, I guess.
Because y'all saw it.
For what we're trying to talk about here. Because we can sit here, by the way, you said you all a couple minutes ago. It's like, it's us now. The environment that we have.
We have.
Okay. Because it's been 4 years now. Okay.
I have to help shape
All right, man. Because sometimes you talk like it's been 4 days.
I know.
Anyway. So Carl's transition here at TLC. So Carl's right. He came in and beautifully said, because I want to make sure this comes across. When you go on a personal development journey, when you go on a journey of, hey, I'm going to start thinking a little bit differently, it comes in small doses, right? You expose yourself to, I guess, dialogue like this.
Yep.
And then you start to think a little bit differently, and then you start to act a little bit differently, and then your results are different, right? Doesn't happen right away. We don't, it's like a couch potato doesn't turn into an elite athlete, overnight, right? Like that happens in small little stages, right? So you went through these small stages. You showed up here, man, you were looking sharp, brother.
I thought I was, man.
I was like, this guy is overqualified to be here, not because he was too smart or anything like that. It's like, we don't dress. I haven't worn a 3-piece suit in like 25 years, honestly. Right? I mean, and I haven't worn like a tie on purpose. I haven't worn a tie because I decided to wear a tie in probably like 10 or 8, Just something that the style kind of changed over the years, right? But this dude comes in, man, looked like he just got his shoes shined, okay? 3-piece suit, man, tie sticking out perfectly, right? Once in a while, you had a tie clip. Like, I'm like, this guy, man, geez, he's kind of almost making me feel uncomfortable, right? But the environment, most of us had T-shirts on, right? And so what ended up happening? You ended up gravitating towards our level. Now, the perception there is, I'm gravitating towards a lower standard. Right? That could be your perception, right?
Yeah,
but instead, you gravitated towards what we're about, which is, hey, man, let's be comfortable. Let's celebrate life. Let's make sure Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are not days that we dread, but days that we are grateful for, right? And so, like you said, you start, by the way, if there's anybody that can wear a hat with a suit, is that guy right here. The guy sitting to my left, right? Like, he did a great job. He started wearing hats with the suit. Then he would still wear his suit, but he wouldn't wear the suit jacket. He would just wear the vest, with the tie sticking out, and then once in a while, a little hanky there, And so and then, slowly but surely, he had a TLC t-shirt on, but he still had the dress pants on, the slacks, with a nice belt, and the nice shoes,
Yeah.
And then, a couple weeks ago, Carl just went to an off-site training, an off-site human resource training, and he walked in the afternoon. He came back from that training, and he's got these slides, and I'm like, did you wear those slides to your HR training? He's like, yeah.
I'm too TLC now.
I'm like, but Carl, none of those people really know you that were at that training. He's like, it's okay, right? I'm like, yeah, it's absolutely okay.
This is me. Can I say one thing real quick that I say on the tour all the time?
All right.
Life changers around the world, they watch our shows. They see us laughing. They see us having fun. But we don't want to neglect the second half of this, the work.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing meaningful work, when you're a life changer, that is meaningful work.
Yeah.
And you have to balance that out with something light. Like something as heavy as changing a life. Like, we don't talk about that. That's not just a moniker. That's not just a something we place. To be a life changer, you've changed people's thoughts. You've changed people's lives, right? So you have to balance that. You have to balance that out with something light.
Yeah. Let's close this out by saying this. I think this is important. So if you're struggling right now after this 15-minute conversation we just had, really about Mondays and looking for the bright spots in Mondays, you're like, there's really no bright spots in my Mondays. Make some. Yeah. Make one today.
Yeah.
Today you can make a decision and say, you know what, on Mondays, hey, maybe one of your kids, you can say, hey, you know what, on Mondays from now on, Jack or Sally or whoever it is, I would like to start a new tradition. Maybe on Mondays at 7:00 we can play checkers.
Yeah.
you know, or something like that. And so like now all of a sudden, like everyone's like, oh man, like, oh yeah, it's Monday tomorrow. You know, we're going to have our checkers match, you know, or maybe your whole family loves tacos, right? And you guys decide as a family today, you're like, you know what?
Instead of Tuesday.
The heck with Taco Tuesdays. You know what? We love tacos so much. We're going to have tacos every Monday night. We're going to have family dinner with tacos, right? And so now all of a sudden, like, you really start the week in this different mindset of like, oh my God, yeah, tomorrow's Monday. And instead of saying, oh man, tomorrow's Monday, you're saying, oh, tomorrow's Monday, we're going to do Taco Monday. You know, or I'm going to play checkers when our family tournament or whatever that is, man, movie night. I don't know. Like, and I get it. Everybody's busy, but sometimes we got to get less busy with the world and more busy with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really, really important. So that's all I got for you
downtime
guys.
is a thief. It's a thief. Man. It will rob you of good times. It will rob you of good memories. Like, you got to lift yourself out of that as quick as you can.
And by the way, the world's trending in that direction. If you guys have noticed, like, you see it on social media, there's less and less people remaining busy on social because they've realized, like, you know what? It's better for me to remain busy in my life and less busy on social. Doesn't mean that they don't want to be there just because you're not getting the likes and the comments and stuff. Please don't take that personally from anybody. The world is gravitating towards, hey, let me go get busy with my life instead of busy with everybody else's. You know?
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I forgot to post yesterday.
That's very important, man. And I think that way too many people are tying their emotions to the results instead of the process of social media, right? The process of social media is really something that we do to create connection, not to have it, because it's really hard to have connection in social media. A like and a comment is not a connection.
Let me connect with my phone.
There you go. So look at him go. So anyway, guys, so yeah, let's start a new routine today. Let's put it on the calendar. Let's make it something that we look forward to each and every single Monday. And let's venture into this week with a positive outlook on life, on our business, on our health and fitness journey, on our relationship with our spouse and our creator. And let's go make it happen.